how would you like to visit the Palace of Versailles and explore the luxurious palace that was once home to Louis XIV? Today's guest will talk about these and other unique experiences she encountered on the trip to Brussels, Belgium, and Paris, France, the home of the famous Eiffel Tower. The Humanities Mass Communications Department of Norwalk Community College presents The New Director, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now, join our host, Angie Mesa, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you will meet on this show are students who, not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student has written and directed 4 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves and the productions they have created, and give you the chance to get to know them and enjoy some of the work they have done during the semester. Our guest today is a travel enthusiast who has had the opportunity to travel to Paris, France, and Brussels, Belgium, capturing amazing photos and videos where most would love to meet. We would like you to meet today's guest, Jennifer Cuevas. Hi, Jennifer.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
It's so exciting that you have visited Paris and Brussels. Please tell us about your trips.
Okay, well, I got to go to Paris in 2013 during Thanksgiving break. I went with my mom, and the first day that we got there, we went to the Eiffel Tower, and we ate at the restaurant that's at the top, which is really cool. It's called the 58 Tour Eiffel restaurant, so that was really exciting, and you have the whole view of the entire city, and then there's like this show of lights. This is the Arc de Triomphe. This is on the avenue called Champs-Élysées, and that was really cool that we got to meet that. This is the Louvre Museum, and inside there is the Mona Lisa, so that was really exciting that I got to see that also. Unfortunately, when I went, for some reason they told us we couldn't take pictures with, I don't know if I understood wrong, with flash or not, but so I don't have a picture of the Mona Lisa, which kind of sucks. But I also, this is in Brussels, Belgium. This is the Chocolate Museum. This is the man that was teaching us how to stir and make all the chocolate and different chocolate candies. It takes about 2 hours to get the whole explanation and tour the museum, but it was really exciting. These are some of the pictures that I took on my own camera. This is also in Brussels. This is a church that we got to go see, and after this we visited the Hard Rock Cafe. That's me next to the bull statuette things. And then that's inside the Hard Rock Cafe. It was just really fun being over there. When I was over there, I couldn't even believe it, so honestly the whole thing was exciting. This is the Palace of Versailles, which was home to Louis XIV, and inside of there, this is from the outside, but on the inside I got to visit the mirror rooms, all the gardens. So this is just the hallway of the palace, well, one of the hallways. But I also got to see some of the bedrooms and like the plates and just everything that they used to do. Everything is well kept in there. A lot of famous paintings, but my favorite part of the palace had to be the breathtaking gardens that they have.
Wow, those sure look like fun trips.
Yeah.
Could you tell us why you decided to take TV production courses?
Of course. So I wanted to take TV production because I wanted to learn how to handle the camera. So for example, things that I learned that were very important is that you should always have a tripod for all your shots, because even if you think you can hold it more still on your hand, you definitely cannot. And it just makes it come out way better and just more stylized. And also, for example, learning the camera movements such as pan or tilt and arc. Now I know to lock my tripod. If not, if I turn around, my camera will be facing all the way down. So things like that. And also I wanted to learn linear editing and the 3 phases of it, which are capture, export, or edit and export. And I think the hardest part so far has been editing. The capture and the exporting is kind of not, well, it's easy to capture things, but it's hard to put them all together how they need to be. So, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. What are some of the most useful things you have learned in this course?
Well, definitely preparation, I think, is the most important so far, just because personally in my other activities, I feel like sometimes I procrastinate, and I definitely learned that in this class, yeah, we cannot procrastinate. And also just the preparation of having a storyboard and a field shot sheet and the shot list, it was very helpful in the editing. For example, well, I'll tell you about it later, but just those three things are, really helpful. And also how to compose a shot and practicing the rule of thirds. Before, I used to think that, like, if you're taking, the picture of a tree, that the tree should be in the center. But now I learned that, it's fine if the tree is a little bit to the side, and then you have something else to balance out the picture, or just different colors. That basically a shot doesn't have to be centered for it to be a good shot. So I also learned that, which was helpful for just future picture taking. And also Avid. I wanted to learn, Avid and how to edit. I still have a ton to learn, but I think that I've been doing okay progress.
Wow.
And yeah.
You sure pay attention in every class. Please tell us about the Student Studies project, the Cup of Tea, the New England Winter Sequence, and the Orange project you created this semester.
Yeah, so first I'll tell you about the Student Studies. So in the Student Studies, I feel like my cuts are very jumpy, as you can see here. This is the start of the video and the table, but everything, it's like jumping, jumping, jumping. And I didn't really like the way it came out. I was only glad that I got all the shots that I was supposed to get, but I'm not like super pleased with the ending results. I don't think I did a good job showing continuity, which is kind of annoying because in a movie that's really the whole reason of how they make us believe everything, because of continuity. So I think in the Cup of Tea, which is what you're seeing now, I filmed it with my dad in his house. He helped me out a lot by being really patient with me, but I think I did a better job in continuity in this one, for example, and also just the camera positions. For this one, we only had 3, and we had less shots than in the Student Studies, so I think it just came out more natural. And yeah, basically just more natural because it's not 40 shots for one thing. Then my nature project, I focus a lot on framing. So for example, there's a framing shot, and then I did a continuous zoom from the waterfall scene. I did it in Stanford in this place called the Falls. It's I don't know, it's a short drive, but it's nice to go up there. And there's a lot of different things. This is one of my triangle shots that I got to find. And it's interesting because you wouldn't really think that your eye can find these things, but if you have a list of things, then you definitely will get them. And then this is my orange project. So I have my friend Rosie. We have the orange pretending to be playing as a dog. And here we have, I really like this scene, which is of her driving into Cove Park. I think we did a good job just having her enter the scene and having her leave the scene. I don't know, I think it was just really clean the way you see it. And just the fade up from black. So yeah.
Nice. Jennifer, please tell us, which one do you consider to be your best project?
My best project, I definitely think, is the Orange project. Just shooting on location was really exciting. We started at her house, and then from there we went to the park, and then we went to this open street. This is actually the ending of my Orange project. So my friend is fixing her shoe, and then I added this jump cut to the sequence just to clarify that the orange is now missing and that we should all be worried about where it went. So I think my story and the creativity is good, and it's just portrayed really clearly. Here she's shocked of losing her beloved animal, and I think I also did a good job adding to the drama, which is the genre that I was shooting for. So I'm really happy with how it came out, and it was just really fun shooting, and all the cars were looking at us so funny. Here I did the continuous zoom, or I attempted it for the orange. It fell in the sewer, so now she'll never get her pet back. And then this is the dramatic ending.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it was kind of sad. But I don't know, I liked it.
You mentioned the variety of things you have learned in this course. What was the most interesting and important skill you learned, and how will you put it to use?
Well, I would definitely love to buy a better camera and, for example, take it with me on my next trip in September. I'm going to Cancun, and we're going to be visiting a lot of water parks, so I think I should have a water camera and maybe try to work something with that. And then if I get good enough shots, then I can work on another editing project. So maybe I can edit a video, like for example in my introduction, like the Paris video. Also, I wanted to continue enforcing preparation for any other future projects, because time-wise I think it's very helpful, and it's just more efficient if you have everything organized and planned out. So definitely those things. And most of all, one day I would like to work in a real TV studio, and I feel like this class has given me like a good start and a good push, and kind of guided me in the direction at least of the basic things that I should know when I move on to that.
That sounds very nice. I wish you all the best with your projects.
Thank you. Thank you.
Today we got to meet someone who shared with us the wonders and beauty of Paris and Brussels. As a new TV director, she hopes to apply what she has learned here at NCC to document future travel experiences. She also plans to use the new knowledge from TV1 to create and perfect various video blogs to share with fellow travelers. We would like to thank Jennifer Cuevas for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. We hope you enjoy meeting one of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you and have a good day.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Angie Mesa, directed by Felix Brito. I am your announcer, Josh Cortez. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.
She has a lot of information there. Yeah. Figure out. Time lapse. Super. Eres la más profesional de todas. Estás tomando esta clase por puro hobby.
How would you like to travel to Paris, France, to tour and visit the Louvre Museum and dine in the Eiffel Tower's elegant restaurant? How would you like to ride a tour bus around the Arc de Triomphe and learn how chocolate is made in Belgium's Chocolate Museum? How would you like to visit the Palace of Versailles and explore the luxury palace that was once home to Louis XIV? Today's guest will talk about these and other unique experiences she encountered on a trip to Brussels, Belgium, and Paris, France, the home of the famous Eiffel Tower. The Humanities Mass Communication Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Director, the shows that introduce you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now, join our host, Angie Mesa, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you will meet on this show are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student has written and directed 4 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves and the productions they have created, and give you the chance to get to know them and enjoy some of the work they have done during the semester. Our guest today is a travel enthusiast who has had the opportunity to travel to Paris, France, and Brussels, Belgium, capturing amazing photos and videos where most will love to meet. We would like you to meet today's guest, Jennifer Cuevas. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
That is so exciting that you have visited Paris and Brussels. Please tell us about your trips.
Yes, of course. Well, I was able to go to Paris, France with my mom. We went in 2013 during Thanksgiving break. It was really fun and exciting. We got to go to the Eiffel Tower. The first day that we got there, we went to this restaurant at the top of the tower, and it's called the 58 Tour Eiffel Restaurant. It's some of the most delicious food I've eaten, and the view was amazing at the end. Well, they have it at different times, but they have a Paris light, like the Eiffel Tower, you know, lights up and stuff. It blinks, so it's like a little light show.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And here I am on the tour bus. We got on the tour, and it went up and down the Champs-Élysées Avenue, which is an avenue in Paris, and it was really cool that we got to go on it. It took us around the Arc de Triomphe, and here we are outside the Louvre Museum. Well, the Louvre Museum is a little bit forward, and then here's this other building. This is inside in Belgium, Brussels, inside of the Chocolate Museum. This is the guy that was showing us how to make and stir the chocolate, and we were in there for about 2 hours. It was really interesting to learn how to make all of it, and it was really cool to see the guy like showing us everything, because I would think that they're probably making beer factories. This is in Belgium also. It is a church. And then this is me at the this is me inside the Hard Rock Cafe. And we also got to go to Notre Dame and to the Palace of Versailles. The Palace of Versailles was one of my favorites because it was just so big, and everything is like really glamorous because most of it is in gold. And the fact that it's like so old and it's kept so well is pretty amusing, actually. There's a ton of people that go in there daily, so like it's just kept so well so far, at least. My favorite part in the Palace of Versailles were the gardens that they have. They're so big, and the steps that they have leading down to the gardens are so cool. These are a lot of the paintings that they have in there. I don't remember the exact number of hallways, but that place is huge, and it took us almost a full day to like tour it. But yeah.
Wow, those are really amazing places to meet. Could you tell us why you decided to take the TV production course?
Of course. I decided to take this course because I wanted to learn how to handle the camera better. I learned that you always need a tripod. That is very important to use your tripod. I learned some of the basic camera movements, such as the arc and tilt and pan. With the tripod, I learned that you always need to lock it. If not, your shot, if you frame it and then you just leave it, it's going to fall down, like the camera will start tilting down. I also learned non-linear editing and the 3 phases of it, which are capture, editing, and export. And I think the hardest has been editing, because capturing, you can always capture a bunch of things, but then when it comes to editing, not everything works all the time. So even if you have 100 shots and you think that they're all good, maybe only 50 of them will be good, and you have to go out and reshoot again. So it's been a learning process, but so far I think I've learned a couple of things.
Right, very well. What are some of the most useful things you have learned in this course?
Yes, so the most useful I think has been preparation, because in my other classes I feel like sometimes I procrastinate. It's more easy for me to write a 20-page paper over the weekend than to be able to get all these videos done in one weekend. It's just something that needs more time. I also feel like the storyboarding and the field shot sheets and the shot list are very helpful. And when it comes to editing and just time efficiency, because if you write everything down as you're shooting it, then you can make your edit decision list, and then you'll just you know what you actually are going to use instead of going through every single video. It just takes too much time. I also learned how to compose shots. Before, I used to think that as long as the main focus of the picture was centered, that it was a good picture. But now with the rule of thirds and having enough headroom and things like that, I learned that there's different ways to compose a shot. And for example, if you're taking a picture of a tree, the tree can be to the side and something else can be on the other side to balance out the picture better, or to just, give something more interesting to look at for the eye. So I also learned that. And then just overall getting to know Avid. I had no idea how to use it before I took this class, and even though I still have a ton to learn, I feel that, you know, I've made good progress so far, and that what I learned can help me move on to the next step. But I still want to keep on practicing.
That sounds very good.
Yeah.
Please tell us about the Student Studies sequence, the Cup of Tea, the New England Winter sequence, and the Orange project you created this semester.
Okay, well, first I'll tell you about the Student Studies. In the Student Studies, I felt like my cuts were very jumpy, and I also had a hard time showing continuity. Continuity stuck a lot with me this semester because I feel like it's what makes movies really come to life, because at the end of the day, everything is getting shot and edited at a different time, so it's up to the editors to put everything together to make us, the viewer, believe it. So I think I kind of failed in this project with that. I'm not too happy with how it came out, but I'm happy that I got through all the shots because there were a lot.
Yeah.
In the Cup of Tea, my dad helped me with it. This is my dad in his house. And I think that I did better here with continuity when it came to editing, because I gave myself more time when I was shooting in the beginning of the shot, like just more room for error basically. And so I'm more happy with the way that this came out. I think it has a better flow. And also the shot list was shorter, so for me I feel like that just makes it look more natural. In this video I also learned how to add the titles. And for my nature project I focused mostly on framing. So for example here it's like the frame between two branches, and then here you have zoom out of the waterfall. So I went to this place called the Falls in Stamford, and it's a short drive. Here I have the triangle frame, and it's really cool. Like here are my diagonal lines to show confliction, and my square or rectangle. And then here is the orange project that I did with my friend Rosie. I had the orange pretend to be a dog, and she has him on a leash. Right now they are going to be going on their way to the park. So this was shot 2 separate days, and I think I did a good job. For example, here when she comes into the scene and just leaving the scene, I think I established the fact that it was her and that we're all waiting for her to arrive. And then here, for example, her getting out the car and stepping out with the dog and stuff.
Very nice, Jennifer. Please tell us, which one do you consider it to be your best project?
Well, my best project I feel is my orange project, just because it was shot on location and we got to go to many different places. So we started off at my friend Rosie's house, and then we continued on to the park, and then we went back to her house, I believe, for like some bedroom scenes. And then we have this scene here. So this is when she loses the oranges towards the end of the project. She is fixing her shoe, and then I added a cutaway. This is the cutaway shot, and so basically it's to clarify that we have lost orange, and now my friend is desperately looking for her beloved pet. I think I did a good job identifying the genre of drama, and this is not a love story or anything funny. This is serious, dramatic things that happened to her in the middle of the day as she was walking her dog. And I had a lot of fun with it, so maybe that's why it was my favorite. But also I'm just happy with the way it came out. I think I did a good job editing, and time-wise with other things happening, I'm happy with the final result. Then this is my dramatic ending. It's just really funny filming this on the road with a bunch of real cars around us. So I'm happy that it came out like that.
Very nice. You mentioned the variety of things you have learned in this course. What was the most interesting and important skill you learned, and how will you put it to use?
Well, the most interesting, I feel, has been the preparation of it. Definitely in the future, I would continue storyboard and the field shot sheet, as well as the shot list. I feel like those are all crucial to even starting the project, because it just helps you organize, and it just helps you use your time better, just to do other stuff or to perfect the project that you're working on. I'll be taking a trip in September to Cancun, so I'm excited to maybe, I'm working on getting a better camera so that I can do underground shots, and then perhaps edit that video in Avid, so then I can have that as another experience of just editing. And overall, one day I would like to work in a real TV studio, and I feel like this class has helped me so far to know the basic steps and know kind of what I'm walking into, so that I'm not fully just brand new or unprepared. So I'm really thankful for that.
Well,
right
it
now.
sounds like you did learn a lot in this course, so congratulations, and I wish you all the best in your projects.
Thank you.
Today we got to meet someone who shared with us the wonders and beauty of Paris and Brussels. As a new TV director, she hopes to apply what she has learned here at NCC to document future travel experiences. She also plans to use the new knowledge from TV1 to create and perfect various video vlogs to share with fellow travelers. We would like to thank Jennifer Cuevas for joining us today. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me.
We hope you enjoy meeting one of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you and have a great day.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Angie Mesa, directed by Felix Brito. I am your announcer, Josh Cortez. The New Directors is a Norwalk Community College student production.
Jacobs, we're going to be done like this, so.
Yay! Congrats, Jennifer. You did great.